up, beautiful people? It's me, Tara J, back again with another one. And today is my first video for my DIY projects. You will be DIYing with Tara J. I do have a whole series for you guys, and I am so excited about that because it all ties into my apartment series. So this is like a sub series for my apartment series because again, I am moving, so I'm doing a bunch of little DIYs for my house, kind of like boho style. I'm super excited because that is like me. I'm like a mix of boho farmhouse stylish kind of look. I love that. So when I give you guys my apartment tour after it's all set up, you guys will definitely be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. Excuse my hair, I've been having my hair slicked back for a whole week because I have not really been feeling good, and I knew I wasn't going to be feeling my good with my natural hair. So I just was like, okay, no, this is it. I'm going to twist it up, put it back there in the bun, and call it a day, okay? And it actually is cute. So, I mean, it's a little old. I did this about Sunday or whatever, but, you know, whatevs. So, anyway, back to the video because I'm talking too much. So again, what's up guys? Of course, I'm Tara J. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining. If you have subscribed, great. If you haven't just yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now and the bell right next to the subscribe button so you know every time I post a video, okay? Also, here's a disclaimer. If you hear the noise in the background, that's the air conditioning because my room gets really hot because it's summertime in Chicago and it's really hot in here. So I'm not turning it off. So if you hear that, please excuse it, okay? But again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead, subscribe now and hit the bell so you know every time I post a video, okay? And to people who have been following me since day one, I really appreciate you guys. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for joining the TJ fam because we are awesome. And let's get into the video, okay? Okay guys, so this is a video of me creating a boho basket, throw basket for under $10 or $15. I believe it's under $10. If I do find the prices and the receipts for things, I will put the link below and list the price in the video. But yeah, this is a DIY project because I didn't want to buy a huge basket for about $15 to $30 or somewhere. And I was like, oh, I could just make it myself. So most of this stuff came from like Michael's, the dollar store, all that good stuff. And again, under $10. So if you'd like to see that video on how I did it, stay tuned. Okay guys, so this is the basket that I use. I literally got this from the dollar store for $1. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up with my string and yarn that I got from Michael's and Blick, which was all three of them under, I think they're roughly around $3. With this one, I accidentally got a white one, so I had to spray paint it beige a little bit just so it could fit the style. And then it turned out looking like this, which is I thought was cute because I love the texture. It's like 3 different shades in it, and I thought, yes, perfect. And then I went ahead and got another beige one because I realized that that may not have been enough. So I do have 3 string. So here, let's begin with the first step. So what we're gonna do now is wrap the rope around itself to make us like a circle, kind of, sort of. But as you can see, I was struggling because I didn't know exactly what to do. This is my first time using the glue gun, and I was like, what the heck is going on? So again, I did have the glue gun plugged up, but clearly I didn't let it heat up long enough. So I was just sitting here like, what is going on? Why isn't it working? Where's the glue at? And then the glue started coming out, but it wasn't sticky. And I'm like, okay, what did I do? Did I just break it? I was freaking out. So I was like, okay, whatever. I don't know. This may be a failed attempt at a DIY, but I continued on. I let it sit for a little while. I looked up some YouTube videos to figure out how to work a glue gun, and then I proceeded to the task. But clearly, as you can see, this first attempt was a complete fail. So yeah, there's that, guys. So I finally figured it out, and I got this little piece together. The glue finally heated up for me and behaved. And I circled it around itself, as you can see here, about maybe 3-4 loops around to make a flat circle. So now what I'm going to do is start to glue the rope to the basket, because it's big enough. Basically loop it around the circle until it's big enough to sit on top of the white circle in the bottom of the basket. Make sure it can cover that up. I didn't realize that you couldn't see the circle until right now, because this is a voiceover, so I do apologize about that. But what I'm going to do now is begin to glue this rope, as you can see, to the basket. So I'm going to put glue on the rope and the basket at the same exact time. Hold it down for about 5 seconds. The glue is still giving me a hard time. Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry, guys. I cannot believe I was struggling like that. But yeah, I'm going to hold it down for about 5 seconds. And then proceed to glue the rope to the basket. Clearly, I seen that you couldn't see the top of the basket, so I fixed the camera for you. Sorry. Thank me in advance. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and continue to glue around the rope. So what I do is I put the glue on the basket, but when I push the rope together, I kind of push the glue in between the rope at the same exact time. So I'm gluing the rope to the basket and itself, if that makes sense. So I am going to go ahead and speed it up, because this video actually ended up being about 2 hours long, and I'm trying not to have a 2-hour long video I upload on YouTube, because who's going to watch that? It's not a movie, right? So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up really quickly to get this part out the way, but still let you guys know that all I'm doing is wrapping it around in a circle. As you can see, I'm putting the glue gun on the basket and the rope at the same exact time, so I can, as I wrap it around, I glue the rope to itself and the basket, as you can see here. Okay guys, so as you can see, I went ahead and finished the rest of the bottom on off camera, because I didn't want this video to be too long, so I just cut that out. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I continue to go in a circle with the glue gun, gluing the rope as I wrap it around to itself and the basket. And I'm trying my best not to make a 2-hour long video, but it's seeming like it's going to be really long. So if you guys continue to watch this video, thank you so much. And yeah, this is my first time creating a boho basket, and I'm super excited about how it turned out. So if you continue to watch to the end, you'll see my beautiful basket. Also, this is how I added more glue to the glue gun. Pretty sure I used about 15 sticks for this entire basket. I'm not too sure if that is normal or not, but I was pretty shocked about that. I was already on glue gun 2, maybe 3, not too sure. I think I'm on 2 for the bottom of the basket, and as you can see, I have a whole rest of the wrapping basket to go. So yeah, there's that. So I'm going to just go ahead and speed this up just a little bit, as I did previously. Again, all you're doing is wrapping it around, gluing the glue. No. All you're doing is wrapping the rope around, gluing it to the rope itself and the basket. Okay, so as you can see here, I am just adding glue to the walls of the basket. I am skipping over a few because you don't really necessarily have to do every single strip on the basket. If you skip over 3 or 4, that is completely fine. Just make sure you do 3 or 4 after the 3 or 4 that you skipped, because that is a big deal with keeping it intact. Literally, don't waste your time going piece to piece to piece, gluing piece to piece to piece, because it is really not necessary. It's going to stay intact. Again, if you want to skip over maybe even 5 at the most, go ahead and do that. Here I'm just showing you that I had 10 glue sticks in that basket, and in that package, and I'm already down to 2. So already I used up 8 glue sticks. This may be glue stick 8 that I have here, or 7, I'm not too sure. But back to the basket again, all you're doing is gluing, tapping the glue on the strips of the basket walls, and then sliding the glue down, sliding the rope down. And when I say by that, I'm sliding the rope down and it's pushing the glue into the rope, so it sticks to the rope and the basket at the same exact time. I skip about 3 or 4, and then I do 3 or 4 after that. Super simple, self-explanatory. Anybody can do this. The easiest DIY I have ever done. It takes a really long time, but it is super simple and super easy. Okay, so at this point, this is going to be my last strip that I'm doing, and then I'm going to cut this off because I don't want the whole entire basket to look dark brownish. I want to mix some ropes together. As you can see in the beginning, or as you saw in the beginning, I showed you two ropes that I'm going to be using. So here is the bottom layer that I'm going to be using. It's not perfect because the basket had some imperfections to it. Some of the spikes was popping out, and I just tried to finesse it the best way possible. That's just pretty much what you have to do. If you're a perfectionist, go ahead and take your sweet time, but yeah, nah. So I went ahead and cut the rope there, and then I began to use the glue gun and glue the rope to itself. I made some kind of sticky. I wanted it to be sticky so it wouldn't unravel, so I glued the end of it. As you can see here, it's unraveling. So this is the part that I started to glue. I glued it together so it can be sticky, and then I glued this part to the rope itself. Then bam, there you have it. You have the bottom layer of your basket. Okay, so now go ahead and grab the next rope that you're going to be using, and you're just going to continue to wrap it around at the exact point where you ended your last rope. You want to put glue and glue the 2 ropes together first, and glue the rope to the bottom rope as well. I'm sorry if this is so confusing. If it is confusing, I do apologize. I suck at explaining things, but I swear it is not as hard as I am making it out to be. So again, I went ahead and glued the 2 ropes together, and I just continued the process of gluing the glue down. I keep saying gluing the glue down. Gluing the rope down to the basket in itself, and kept wrapping it around. Again, you don't have to do every single strip on the wall. I did about 2 or 3 in the beginning just to be safe, and then I skipped about 3, and then I went ahead and did about 3 or 4 more. Just kept the process going until my rope ran out. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up again and finish the video and let you guys see how it turns out. showing you how I do it close up. As you can see here, I normally do about 3 or 4. It really depends. I might do 2 if I feel like it. But the process is super easy. Do 3 or 4, skip about 3 or 4, turn the basket, and do 3 or 4 more. As you can see here, I'm just going ahead and sliding the rope down on top of the glue so the glue can stick between the basket and the rope. It sticks it to itself at the same exact time, twisting the basket around and doing about 3 or 4 more on the other side. I'm not going step by step and strip by strip because that's going to take a really long time, and honestly guys, this process is already long enough. So let's try to shorten the process make the process as quickly as possible and as easy as you can make it, okay? The point where I began to run out of rope, so I had to start figuring out what I was going to do next, because at this point in time, I wished I had rose up the brown rope a little bit higher, because I don't know, I kind of got frustrated with the fact that I thought this rope was going to be a little bit higher, and the only thing that made me happy was the fact that I had another rope. And as you can see, the bumps and ridges of the lighter rope is because the basket does have imperfections, and I was trying to fix it and it didn't really fix, but I don't really care about that. It turned out really nice, and I just proceeded on with gluing the rope to itself and finishing up the basket, because I think by now it's probably been like an hour, and I probably had like another hour to go, and I was like over it by the end. So I just went ahead and finished it and grabbed my other rope and continued to wrap it around after I glued the rope to itself. This is kind of the hardest part maybe, because I didn't have like a wall strip to glue it to, so I had to figure out how to glue it to itself without using too much glue. And I was praying that it ended up in the back of the basket like it did, which I'm super happy about that. And yeah, I just went ahead and finished it with the last rope that I had and continued the process. Glued the rope to itself, glued the rope to the previous rope that I had already used, and went ahead and finished it up. This is the rope that I have here. Again, I got this from Michael's, Blick, I believe. One of the other, I think it was about $2, maybe $3 at the most. It was very inexpensive, and that is the color that I wish I got in the beginning, but I had to accidentally got a white one, so I had to spray paint it to make it that color, and I ended up getting 3 different textures on the rope that I previously used that you saw just seconds ago. So I went ahead and again glued the rope to the previous rope and the bottom of it to it as well, and just continue on with wrapping it around so I can finish this up. time, as you can see, I completely ran out of the beige rope, and I was a little hot because I was like, oh crap, what am I gonna do? Because I still have a little bit more wrapping around to do. Just ignore those glue strips because we're gonna get that at the very end when we're completely finished with the basket. So now that I have brown rope left, I'm just gonna go ahead and use that to fill up the top of the rope. You're not even going to see this part, so I don't even care because I'm going to use a t-shirt to cover that up to make the inside of the basket nice. And here I am, before I finish that wrapping around the basket, I am using this part here. I just wanted to show you guys really quick. I am unraveling the rope to make a braid around to jazz up the basket just a little bit more. This was probably the hardest thing that I ever did because every time I unwrapped it, it wrapped itself right back up. So when I say, excuse me, I have a little cold. Probably sound really bad right now. If I do apologize about that. But this took the longest time. I was so irritated. I was cramping and I was just ready for it to be done. As you can see, it took forever. And then when I did finish it, it tangled back up as I was braiding this. So I was pretty pissed off at this point. I was just ready for it to be over with. And yeah, I didn't even finish the basket. This is literally a 2-day process because the rope made me very angry the next day. So it is the next morning and I didn't end up doing the top of the basket like I said I was going to do on camera because I was just trying to get it over with. As you can see, it is finished and this is what the final look is going to be. I did end up cutting the rope because it was really frustrating me, so that was the easiest way to do it. I recommend, because see, it tangles up. It just tangles right back up as you braid it. No matter how long you have it, no matter how separated you have it, as you continue to braid, it will tangle back up. So I recommend you just measure around your basket and cut the length off before you start to braid it, which is something that I wish I knew before I tangled the rest of the rope up. So yeah guys, good luck with that. So now I just went ahead and got a little t-shirt, a beige t-shirt, because that's more of the boho style. I believe I got this maybe from Michael's or maybe even Foreman Mills. If you have that in your area, these shirts are literally $3 at the most, maybe $2, maybe even $1. I'm not even sure. The dollar store probably have t-shirts there too for $1. Get a beige one which fits much better with the beige rope that I have. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue that to itself. I'm sorry, we're not gluing it to itself, we're gluing it to the basket. I'm not going to glue the bottom inside area there to itself because I love how bushy and fluffy it looks. It looks very natural. What I'm going to do is glue the wrapping around here to the basket. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. And yeah, before you do anything though guys, give your glue gun about 10 minutes to heat up because you don't want to look like me in the beginning trying to figure out what the hell is going on because the glue is not coming out properly. Even up your t-shirt however you want it to be because you don't want it to look lopsided and you don't want it to look kind of tacky because it's already a DIY project, so it's not going to look like it came from fresh out the store. So just try your best to make it as neat as possible. And just go away, glue it down, and you'll be finished. This literally took me no time. to go ahead and take my rope and place it wherever I want it to be on the basket. This is literally optional. You can put it at the top, you can put it at the bottom. You don't even have to put a rope at all. It was just really all a preference pretty much. And then I leveled it, made sure it was even all the way around. It may not be the best braid, but it meets my standards. And of course you do want to cover up your different rope layers if you want to. That's, again, it's your choice, very optional. So I went ahead and made sure I knew where the back was and the front was, because I didn't want to put my cute little curly design in the back where the two ropes meet. So that's probably a good idea for you guys as well. And then I went ahead and finished gluing the rope down to itself. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That comes to the end of the process of how I completed this basket. So now that the rope is completely finished and glued on, I'm going to go ahead and braid the two ends all the way down to the bottom, just so I can make sure I have the design exactly how I want it to be. I'm going to braid the ends of it and then begin to glue it over itself. So I did go ahead and begin gluing it down. I glued the ropes down to the ropes in the basket as far as I can. I did it one at a time. And then I wrapped the one that I was not gluing. It really doesn't matter the left or the right. It's really your preference. The one that I was not gluing, I glued that on top of the one that I just laid down, as you can see here. And then I glued the ropes to itself again so it wouldn't unravel. So I just put some glue on the back of both of the ropes. I didn't want it to unravel at all. So I glued it, as you can see here. I glued everything down. I'm gluing just so it doesn't unravel and it can stick together. And then I just placed the curly length of the rope, whatever you want to call it, how I wanted it to be. And yeah, that's it, guys. Again, this is a easy DIY. It's time consuming for sure, but it comes out beautiful in the end. So however you want to try it, good luck. Look at some examples on Pinterest, Google, however you may like your basket to be. I kind of just finessed this. I had a bunch of different ideas, but I didn't have enough rope, so I had to like figure out another way to do it, and it turned out nice. Like, I really enjoyed how the basket turned out to look. Let's take a look at the final touch. So this is the final step to the basket. It is completely optional. You can get some scissors, and you do have glue flyaways from the glue that I was struggling with the beginning. You can go ahead and go around your basket and cut that off. Use your scissors. You can easily put it off with your hand. As you can see, I didn't end up using my scissors because that probably was going to make it take even longer than it should have. So I just went ahead and pull them off with my hand. It doesn't mess up anything. You can clean up the little flyaways from the rope if you like with the scissors. It's really up to you. Again, this is really optional because you can't really see the glue unless you're really up close to the basket. So yeah, I hope you guys like this tutorial, and I hope it helped you guys. I hope I helped you guys the best way possible. If I didn't, again, I'm super sorry about that, because this is my first time doing this and I struggle, as you can see. a final look at the basket. I have a throw pillow, a throw blanket in it, and I am super in love with how this turned out. It is not the perfect basket, of course. You can see the imperfections in the actual basket itself, but that is okay because I love it. I love the textures that the spray paint gave it when I spray painted the white rope, and it's just so beautiful. I cannot wait to put this in my new apartment. I'm just so happy it turned out so boho. I hope this helped you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, I'm Tara J, and I'm out. Peace.